What's up? Back with another episode of Coaching in the Car. Hope you're having a great day. Wow, I'm having a great week. Can't complain. But if you have not liked the channel, make sure you do that. Hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss any new episodes. New episode of From the Bottom podcast, of course, drops every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. But let's get into it. So today I want to talk about accepting help. Accepting help. So you have to be careful when it comes to accepting help, and here's why. In my coaching practice, as a matter of fact, when I coach people, I don't say that I'm helping them. I never say that I'm helping somebody, because helping makes the assumption that they need help instead of empowerment. I never want to make the assumption that someone needs help, because help, I like to think of as like a one-sided thing where the other person doesn't really need to do anything, right? And so when I'm coaching people, I make sure that I use specific language, like I partner with people or I work with people so that they can set better goals or get more clarity or find their life purpose or whatever it is that they're hitting me up to coach them about. And just regular life outside of coaching, when we think about helping, it's usually where one person is in a dominant position and another person is in a weaker position. I'll give you an example. If you're living with somebody, right? If you're living with someone, the person whose home it is, they're in the dominant position. Why? Because essentially they're providing shelter for you, and at any moment they could change their mind about it. Now, of course, there's laws and stuff where they can't just boot you out, but at the same time, it can still be frustrating when you don't want to cause any problems and you're living with someone and you don't want to necessarily get on their bad side. That's just one example. But when you're accepting help, the important thing that I really want you to understand is that you have to try to understand the motive of the person that's offering to help you. You know, for instance, going back to the living with someone example. At first, someone may say, yeah, you could live with me. But if they have a motive like, oh, well, I want you to live with me, but that means that I get to use your car anytime I want, which, again, they're not telling you this up front. Even if you ask, that's another thing is you can be up front, you can ask questions, and the narrative can change once you're there for 2 or 3 weeks. You know, so if you're living with somebody and it's like, hey, can you go pick this up, or can you do this, or can you watch this person, or can you do something that's really you doing me a favor in a way, right? And so you have to be careful, because when you accept help, people assume that you're signing up to pretty much be their puppet, to drop on a dime to do what it is they ask you for, because you should be so grateful that they helped you, right? You have to be careful with this, you know. And one thing that I say is that when you are accepting help, you have to be upfront with, one, what your expectations are, what you are and are not willing to do. I know that it can be uncomfortable to ask those questions up front, but if you don't, then later on down the line, when the other person is assuming that you were just going to do it, it can be very difficult to now have that conversation. So, few things that I think are important. One, I'm not saying do not ask for help, do not accept help. What I am saying is you have to be very particular with who you allow to help you. Everyone doesn't have your best intentions. Everyone's not just trying to do you a solid. Everyone is not just trying to be a support system for you. There's underlying motives for why most people want to help you. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing if you can get those out in the open and everyone understands what the deal is, right? If I'm giving you a ride to work And I am helping you by doing that, but our understanding is you give me $20 a week in gas. Nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with that. We both understand what it is. Now, if I'm giving you a ride to work and you're giving me $20, and then because I'm giving you a ride to work, I now say, oh, well, because I'm giving you a ride to work, that means that if I ask you to borrow $50, you got to give it to me. Or I'm giving you a ride to work, so therefore, if I need you to watch my dog, you better do it because I'm giving you a ride to work. That's where it becomes manipulation, and that's where it becomes, fake. So you really have to trust the people that you accept help from, because you may not know their intentions, and ultimately it can ruin a relationship. And I say all that to say, part of this goes back to loving yourself and being comfortable with yourself, because if you love yourself and you're comfortable with yourself, you're not going to be as afraid or hesitant to ask those tough questions up front, because you're secure in yourself. You see, a lot of people are hesitant and afraid to ask those questions up front because they think that they're offending the other person or they might ruin the relationship. But the truth of the matter is that if you can't ask someone a question about something that involves you, the relationship probably didn't exist in as strong of a way as you thought it did. So really be careful about who you accept help from. Understand that most times it is going to come with a contingency, and just go out there and keep trying your best. I know it's hard. Everyone needs help now and then, but keep pushing forward. You got this. Make sure you subscribe if you found value in this. Appreciate it.